Hello everybody, my name is Kaya. Welcome to my world. This is Bedrock Minecraft. I have been playing Bedrock Minecraft for about 7 years. It is the only version of Minecraft, especially console edition, that I have had any access to. So all of my foundation in Minecraft has been in Bedrock. According to everybody else, the harder version of Minecraft, which I would have to agree. It is pretty difficult in different stages, but this world specifically has been put into peaceful mode just for the purpose of being able to build and get things done in a faster time frame. And this is my world, my fun, my free time. This is what I do when I am bored. I am so happy to have the opportunity to get to share this world with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I have enjoyed building it. It is probably the only world that I have ever built on Bedrock Minecraft that I have truly fallen in love with. I have started worlds before this that I very much loved and felt the same way about, but unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way that Realms is the only way to go if you are going to do very large worlds. Because if you are actively playing in a world and for any reason you lose power or your console gets shut down improperly, you lose that world unless you have a backup. I was horrible at making backups, so I lost so much progress and so much time in so many worlds due to power loss. And that's what made me buy this realm. This realm is about 6 months to 7 months old. As you can see, it is at 4,628 days. I have played only in this realm since I started it, and I have committed so much of my time and energy into it because I have fallen in love with the projects that I have started. So let's get to it. I would love to share this with you guys. As you can see, the village is the very first thing we started. We dug this channel right here by hand. This is a shared realm. I share it with my husband, and he really doesn't play in Minecraft as much as I do. So as you can see, his area over here is pretty small. He does not have very many builds. He is a very abstract builder, and I love that about that. His creativity is a little different than mine, but they are still so creative in our own ways. This village was created just solely for the purpose of me having a base to function out of for the rest of my time in this world that had all the functional means that I needed: farms, blocks, villagers, anything that I might need for building purposes. On this side, you can see that there is a spruce forest, and in the back, there is a lumber mill. This spruce forest was custom made. Everything about this land right here, the terraforming, all of it was done by hand. None of that looked original. I do have maps to show you guys what that looked like in the beginning. This lighthouse was the most recently added thing. It was added just for the purpose of connectivity in this world, because I do have this bridge that holds these two sides together. And then as you see, there's this bridge here. This bridge still has oak on it, and I do need to change the oak into spruce because I just love the way spruce looks. And then this bridge was last. This was just to bring this whole area together so that it felt more connected and alive. I think for this tour, we will start looking at the details of the lighthouse just because it is not finished. It is mostly here for the purpose of I built a ship needs lighthouse. So we have lighthouse. I do want to change this into grass and instead of stone. So eventually all of the stone will have grass, so it looks a little more blended. It will look prettier that way. This wall here all the way around does need texture. There needs to be andesite and cobblestone in there. I do want this to actually be a functional cave for me to go and mine blocks down into, so eventually I will mine this and make it look really pretty. It is not a concern of mine right now. I have so many blocks from the end project that it's crazy. As I said, the inside of this has no functional use. You can go up to the top and look at the village and the spruce forest from the top, and it's a really great view for both. But I don't truly use this a lot. It was literally the intention of I built a ship, ships need lighthouse, they need to be able to navigate, so we have lighthouse. This build is just the house that goes along with the lighthouse for the lighthouse crew to sleep in, live in, whatever they may need. Obviously, there's nothing in here yet because this was just built. I still need to do the interior for it. This bridge, I did think to build a little differently than the other ones because if you notice, the pillars that go into the water for these are a little skinny on that side. And a ship that size is not fitting through there. Not that it needs to go that way, that's just a river. This, however, does lead back to an ocean, so I wanted the pillars to be a little wider for ships to fit into, because I will build smaller fishing boats in here as well. So these pillars are a little bit more separated. I kind of wanted to do a mound on these bridges, but I ended up building them like this and I fell in love with them, so I'm just going to leave them that way. I will show you guys a little bit of what my husband has built. He does a lot of copper builds. He uses copper grates, and I actually love this spiral right here. I think this on top of a tower for a castle would be amazing. And I have built castles before in Minecraft. I genuinely did not fall in love with those castle builds because interiors of castles are my worst enemy. I hate them. I cannot do them. I'm horrible at it. Over here is his main base. And I actually really love the way he did this because, again, like I said, it is so abstract. He does have his whole furnace set up right here. He does have his own enchanting table. And I love his way of placing blocks. The color in here makes me feel so happy. It's very lively. He does have different sections of this ravine that you can jump into. There is a conduit in here so you don't drown, and you can get to different parts of his cave from that ravine. He has his own little generator right here. It does work pretty well. It is not as efficient as the one that's in the nether, but it works for him for what he does need it for. There is one little layer right here to this. It does not go very much into anything, but eventually he might build it there. He plays a variety of games. Minecraft is not his priority. He also plays Fallout, Call of Duty, Fortnite. There are many varieties. I used to play all of those games too, but Minecraft is my main. She's the one I always come back to. I love her so much. We will eventually go into the nether because I do have the nether hub and the nether tunnels sort of built up. Right now I would like to focus on the village because the village is the first project that we built. I do have a map here. This map is not updated. As you can see, this side does not have the spruce forest and there is no lighthouse. I kind of would like to keep these maps how they are so that I have a reference of what we have progressively done in this world. This little square right here was a automatic wood farm that I built by Silent Whisper. It worked wonderfully. I never really got to use it because all of the walls did a 2-tick cycle and I actually needed them to do a 4-tick cycle. And I could not troubleshoot the redstone well enough on my own to get it to function, so I did have to tear it down. I did want to leave it up because it looked really cool, but that was so many materials redstone related that I actually needed those materials back at the time, so I just took it down. The very first thing of this village that was constructed was the wheat farm and the windmill. The windmill is not for functional use, it is strictly for storage. Which honestly is not even used for that because I end up using so much of this wheat that I don't have any to store inside of the windmill. The windmill does have a bed up top in case I need to sleep in this area, not that I really ever do. Again, this world is currently in peaceful, so there are no hostile mobs. I don't have to worry about that at nighttime. I do love having taller structures within a village like this just so you have somewhere to kind of get different angles and views on the things that you have built. This one is really neat. I've never built a windmill before this world and I've always wanted one, so this was mostly just for a kind of to say I did it type of thing. The next project that we worked on was the fishing area. I love docks and I love building the docks to look like they go all the way to the bottom of the ocean, so they do. These fishing shacks used to be filled with barrels for fishing purposes, but when I put the villagers in, I had to remove any workbench within 100 blocks of the villagers, so all of them got removed at one point and some just never got replaced back to where they needed to be. This horse is one of the only horses with diamond armor that does not have a name, so if anybody in the comments would like to give this horse a name, I am open to suggestions. This house was the original storage house. I built it just to have some place to shove blocks when I first got this started. It did work for me for about 3 to 4 months, and all I had to do was keep most of my storage and shulker boxes inside of chests so that the chest didn't overflow too much. But eventually I needed more space, so this got turned into the Inspiration Cafe. One of the things I love to do in Minecraft is texture. I love to texture builds, especially big ones. So I created the Inspiration Cafe to give you palettes of different colors of blocks that would work together if you wanted to add texture or detail to builds. As you can see, the build that this is in was pretty small, so I did not want to texture it too much because that's just creating more work that was unnecessary for myself. There are beds up here in case somebody needs to sleep. There is a bathroom, obviously not functional, but when you're going for aesthetic, you kind of got to include everything. I did the enchanting library right behind this one and next to the beet farm. The beet farm was there just for color. I did not need a beet farm. I don't think anybody ever really needs beets in Minecraft, but they're nice to have for color. This is the enchanting library. There's not much to it. This is a full level 30 enchanting setup. I do not really use it anymore. I'm so far in this world that I have way more tools and armor than I will really ever need. I do use some of these chests to store extra end city loot because I do go end city looting a lot. These are all soul speed books, and there are more in the bookshelves that I got from trading with piglins. I have so many that I could lose 50 of them and still be okay. I do have rail ties over wood in different parts of the village to kind of help it look like the lumber mill is transporting wood over here for future builds or current builds. This house was constructed to cover up the flower farm. I do have an automated flower farm in the basement of this house. It is currently called a flower shop because this is where I sell and you can buy flowers and dye and cactus. I do have dyed armor to kind of give the perception of you can sell dyed armor here as well. I do have banner patterns so that I can make the banners. I am collecting those. I would like all of them. I believe there's only 8 in the game at this point, but I could be wrong on that. This is an auto bone meal flower farm, so it bone meals the flowers and spreads them across the grass for me and then breaks them so it can keep doing that. This flows all of them over into the hopper so that the hopper can pick up the flowers, and then this hopper puts them into an auto crafter that turns them into dye for me. Now granted, dye is not hard to craft on your own. It doesn't take very much time, but for the practice of using an auto crafter, it was a good and interesting build to have. I do have a separate cactus farm just for the purpose of green dye, but it gives me so much cactus that I've turned it into a bone meal farm now. I do have this pretty pink flower farm right here. I do not use it for anything. It is just here for the pop of pink color because I do love that you can see the pink from the bridge. These ghasts will not stay here. They are here just because I do not have anywhere else to put them right now. This house is the watermill. The watermill is completely empty with the exception of a nether portal. It is just here for the purpose of blending in with the watermill that is in the river. I did build this dock to go with the watermill just so you could fish off of it and be right next to the watermill because this is so fun. I have really attempted to bring this river to life by doing little things like this. I do have the section over here of overgrowth. Like there is extra algae at the top of the water. There's really high kelp. There's lots of lily pads. I even have lily flowers with the cactus flowers. As you can see in the background here, there is a giant nether portal. And this giant nether portal is a portal taking gold farm. It is super efficient as far as gold goes, and for early game, it's great for XP. But at this point, as you can see, I'm at level 343. I would not use it for XP. I have a guardian farm designed by Silent Whisper that I rely on so heavily for tool mending, elytra healing, and just overall XP. All of the trees that you see in this village are also custom made. I did use green concrete, moss, and jungle leaves to create texture in the leaves themselves. I love original jungle trees, but they were almost just a little too bushy for the village in the spaces that I needed them to be in. And I like these small ones because they do come over the path a little bit and it creates this feeling of lushness. The camel does not have its own exhibit yet, so he is here for now. There is another one with a saddle, but he is currently swimming in the channel because he likes to escape his leads. Right here is Spot. Spot carries fuel sources around the village for the furnace setup. This is an auto furnace system with a kelp duper that turns the kelp into kelp blocks for the smelting. It is fully automated. All I have to do is flick a lever here and one in the back, which I can't get to the back. But currently the kelp is broken because I had to take the smokers out for the purpose of getting villagers set up on jobs. The next thing is a build that I got inspiration from in a tutorial on YouTube from somebody I cannot remember the name of, so I cannot give credit where credit is due here. This build was a tutorial build, and I went with it because it functioned really well in with everything else that I have constructed in this village, and I have used it as my brewing setup, and a little bit more than just brewing, but mostly brewing. I have so many brewing stands from End City looting that I have never had to craft one in this world, but I also do have shelves full of every type of potion, every type of brewing material, and then the sorting for all of that. I do have nether wart in here because I am making red nether brick for the red nether brick tunnel. I do have way more of it up here too as well, because you can never have enough when you're trying to get red nether brick. All of this armor and these tools are extra from End City looting. I will probably never need that many. I have a pickaxe with mending. Anyway, I do have any of my collectibles in this build for now until the museum is done. So pottery sherds, armor trims, goat horns, and music disc are also stored in here. On this next floor is a little bit more armor, just because I am running out of places to keep it. This right here is the villager build, the villager trading hall. It was probably very time consuming. I believe I put like a month into it. It really wasn't as bad as it seems. It is super functional, I will give it that. This roof was not the original roof from the tutorial. It is pretty close, but I did not have the same build palette, so I did kind of have to go off of my own knowledge of gradients in Minecraft. I feel like I did all right. The upstairs of this is empty. The only thing that's up here is a little bit of redstone that is designated for the fact of fireworks shows, which I can do. I usually don't, just because fireworks are so expensive and I am constantly blowing up the nether. So I use my gunpowder there. To the side, as you see, there is a giant pink axolotl up here. He is representing the axolotl aquarium. And this was constructed for the purpose of getting a blue axolotl. I do come in here in the middle of projects on different times in my play, and I breed these guys to try and get a blue axolotl. I do not have yellow axolotls yet, and I would really like to get them. But this entire aquarium was designated just for them, because I love axolotls. They are probably one of my favorite mobs in the game. And they also have this cute little shipwreck, and I do see them play in it. They do go in and out of the windows. I really don't come in here a lot other than for the purpose of breeding these guys. I did put a conduit in here, so if I ever wanted to AFK in here, I didn't have to worry about drowning. As you can see, these shulkers are full of tropical fish in buckets that I do feed them with. Any extra axolotls, just so this doesn't get too crazy, do get put in buckets for now, until I can release them into the wild, probably into the ocean if I'm being honest. This build is my favorite out of anything that I have ever built in Minecraft, mostly because it is the most textured build that I've ever crafted. I have never added this much detail into anything. It is absolutely gorgeous. I am in love with the sheer scale of it. It is the most functional build. The interior is also done. This build is so obnoxiously loud with the amount of things that are going on here. There are 72 to 76 villagers all throughout this entire build. They are stacked in stacks of 4, so 2, 3, and 4. Most of them are librarians. I do have a librarian with every enchanted book in the game, and some more for blocks and just different options, tools, armor, so on and so forth. The floor here was the first thing that was put into this build, and it is a cactus farm that goes down to Y level 0. And if you remember, I no longer use this for cactus. I use it for bone meal because it gives me so much cactus, it's crazy. This little boy here is Pinky. Pinky come from the wild. He is a naturally spawned pink sheep, so we brought him home so no wolves could kill him, because wolves in this world are devilish. Over here on this side is a functional aspect of this build. I don't know that I will ever make it pretty, just because I don't know it's necessary to have it be pretty, but this is my auto shearing sheep farm, so that I could have every type of wool in the game in surplus, because I do hot air balloons and a lot of sails in different colors. So having the variety of color is very nice for building. All of these chests are full, and that's why none of them have shears in their compartments anymore, is because I don't want to keep wasting wool by overflowing these chests. As of right now, I don't think I will mess with this build anymore, just because it has already consumed so much of my time to this point that I have other things I would like to be focusing on. The only other thing for this section of the world that I would show anybody would be spawn. Spawn is a couple hundred blocks in this direction, just behind the village. I do have a path that kind of leads back so that people from spawn know how to get to the village at least. It does have a massive potato field that is unfinished because I have to harvest the potatoes to plant more. But it also does have tents. This tent is empty. This is optional for somebody to decorate if they come in and just want to live in it. This one does have a little bit of a functional setup for people. This ender chest is for anybody to use because it's specific to whoever opens it. It does have a bed for people to sleep in, and I do have anything in here, like they could bone meal it to get more potatoes. They do have a stack of food. I've just kind of thrown stuff in there for people to use because I don't need it. This is spawn. Spawn is really simple. I really just wanted someone to be able to come in and have an ability to navigate the world a little bit on their own. The next project I would show you guys would be in the near the end portal. I do have some of the nether constructed. We do have a smaller nether hub, and the nether tunnels have been worked on. But aside from that, I just kind of come back to the nether whenever I'm bored and need something to work on, but don't want to commit to anything specific. Because I made the mistake of choosing quartz blocks for my nether tunnel, and quartz in surplus are not easy to get after a certain span of time unless you go netherite mining a lot, which fortunately we do. As you see, this is one of the very first tunnels that was constructed out of the nether just because it was from our main base, which was the village. Down here is where I created the nether hub so I could connect all of my nether travel to this nether hub. There will be 4 different tunnels off of the nether hub. That one is the original. This one has really no location to go to yet, so I haven't even bothered digging it out. This one does go to the bastion that I completely mined out so that there is a frog-light farm fully functioning inside of it. I'm not 100% sure where this tunnel goes, but I do have a portal at the end of it for something. And this, it does have a different design. This is what the red nether brick is being used for, and I actually love the look of this one. Over here is the piglin barter farm. It is completely automated, and the sorting system is also automated. Unfortunately, with this, piglins tend to trade a lot faster than what the sorting system can keep up with, so sometimes I get blocks that should be sorted into the overflow chest. I do have a basalt generator here so that if I ever need basalt for builds, I have free access to it whenever I want without having to go into a basalt biome. This nether hub was created because I am always in and out of the nether. I usually go from the village over to the end portal quite frequently. So this end portal tunnel actually got finished second. It was 300 blocks long and I managed to get it done, but it took a lot of time and a lot of work. This tunnel also does bring you to the Guardian farm, which is highly efficient, but the Guardian farm is not decorated, so I don't know that I will show that to you guys right now. It is also designed by Silent Whisper, and it is super reliable, and the XP is insane. This is the end build. I did dig this hole out. It is a 100 by 100 hole. It will go down to bedrock. I did just make some progress last night on getting a little bit more of this dug out. It took me about 3 hours to do 4 layers of stone. I cannot imagine what digging deep slate is going to feel like for me, even with a haste 2 beacon. This floor is 6 layers of black glass, and the bottom layer does have sea lanterns and or frog lights, I can't remember anymore, with black carpet on top of it. Each one of these candles are individually placed and lit with a flint and steel by Moa. It was very time consuming, but every bit of worth it. I did not want the end portal to be the center of this build. I did want it to be a big part of it. I wanted it to be pretty, but also accessible. But the main purpose behind this build was the museum on top. Inside of this museum, I would like to host any blocks that I find value in or that I find to be rare, because Minecraft worlds are specific to whoever plays them. And fortunately for me, this build was completely constructed by me. And on the sides here, I am going to have 2 towers. I want one on this side and one on this side. In this tower are going to be all the aquatic mobs in the game, including almost all 3,000 types of tropical fish. I know that sounds like a crazy project, but it also sounds so fun to me to have something that is going to take me probably years to get done. On this side, I would love to do any type of mob that's a non-aquatic in the game, including the Wither and the Warden. I don't know how easy it is on Bedrock to trap a Wither. A Warden I might have to make special plans for, just because it will kill anything in the surrounding area, I do believe. I will have to do research before I work on those projects, but I have so much time before any of that happens. I am so happy that I get to share this world with you guys. It has been something that I have loved building, that I have enjoyed constructing. I have not gotten bored with this world. Boredom does not exist in this world, mostly because I have found the pattern to keep myself motivated without burnout. It is okay to walk away from big projects like this. Imagine how long this would take me if I just sat here and put in the grind to get this all done in one go. I would be here for a year. It is okay to walk away and do something that does make you feel joy. And if by some chance you do leave something this big unfinished, guess what? That's okay too. You have time spent, memories of time spent in your world. And I'm perfectly okay acknowledging that not everything that we do and create that's this ambitious is going to be completable, and that's fine. I do have every intention of completing at least the outside of this build. As far as getting this down to Y level, well, Bedrock, I don't know that I'm going to grind that out right now. I would like to do live streams with you guys of just sitting here mining this entire circle out, chatting, getting to know each other. If you guys would be interested in that and would love to watch streams like that, I would love to do them. As of right now, the question I have for you guys is, if you had to choose whether you got to see a 7-year Bedrock player experience Java for the first time with keyboard and mouse, would you choose that? Or would you choose to continue to watch me create this world on this realm and see where this takes us? I know we have many established Bedrock players out here. We do have Prowl, JC Plays, Silent Whisper. There are so many of them, and I appreciate all of them. They do amazing things, and honestly, I would not be where I'm at in Minecraft was it not for the education that their content gave me. Thanks to them and their knowledge of this game, I was able to do something this incredible, and I would love a community to share this with. If you guys would like to see more of this realm, or maybe the best of both worlds, I would be happy to do long plays in this world and maybe do let's plays in a Java. It's up to you guys, honestly. I'm happy just to play Minecraft. I don't care what version, I don't care how I play it. I just want to have a community to share my play with. Thank you guys for viewing. I very much hope that you love this as much as I do. It took me so much time, commitment, and energy to put into this and stay motivated. And I'm just happy to share it with you guys. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. See ya.